Hey guys, welcome to Paleo 0 to 60. This is Jeff, here's Bruce. We're on day 27, so we're almost to day 30. We had a bit of a lapse in there. My dad was on vacation, which we'll talk about in a second, how that played out.
It was a business
Oh yeah,
trip.
sorry, business trip. Not here. Not stuck in the freezing cold, icy Montana winter. So, we're down to 205 pounds this morning, which was pretty cool. We saw, I think last time we checked in was 209 or something like that, so we'll continue to see, I guess that's 4 pounds this week, even with a little bit of a bump. At one point we had a little bit of a bump and then back down, so I don't know, how you been feeling?
I've been feeling really good. I'm not hungry, which is the really surprising thing for me. I'm really getting used to how to cook for eating paleo, and it's not a big hassle anymore. One thing is, I really see how you have to prepare ahead. You really have to think ahead.
Yeah, you gotta plan ahead.
Because you don't want to be hungry and not have food ready to go, because you'll be biting people and things like that.
Yeah, it is more difficult when you don't have anything to just pull out of the...
Yeah.
Because you don't have all these non-perishable Twinkie-esque
all this crap,
Yeah.
the deep-fried Twinkies and stuff,
Yeah, they don't last.
One really cool thing that happened while I was on my business trip, I was gone for 5 days, and the group that I was meeting with, we ate at really good restaurants, and of course the guy I stayed with is a gourmet cook, and luckily he cooks pretty close to paleo, and he was really interested when I talked to him about it. But I found that I had to be really careful in the restaurants at lunchtimes, but that it was quite possible, and I ended up really surprised when I came back from that trip. I'd actually lost 2.5 pounds.
Yeah,
I felt really good about it. It shows that you
cool.
can do this even when you're forced to go out and eat at a commercial.
It's definitely possible.
place.
What's an example of some sort of substitution or leaving something out?
I really watched it. Like if I ate salads, I made sure that one of the things I got was a salad, and then I tried to get a meat, and a lot of the meats had sauces, so I avoided the sauces. Much as I wanted them, and they sounded great.
Yeah,
they make me drool.
Chances are on the sauces you're probably getting vegetable oil if you're in a restaurant, which is high on omega-6, or sugar, or both probably.
Or flour, a lot of those sauces are thickened with flour. When I look at the French sauces, I was going, I know what's in those. And so, as good as they sounded, I avoided them. I drank tea or water the whole time. I didn't get any kind of drink that would have extra calories in it. That was helpful. That's just a thing we've been doing around here too, but it was easier to do it in the restaurant now. And it was interesting because when I started drinking just ice water, pretty much everybody at the tables I was sitting at started just drinking ice water, and then everybody was asking me about paleo diet, and a bunch of my colleagues wanted me to send them a lot of information on it. So I'm encouraged about that.
That's cool. I find that the sort of scientific kind of people are very curious, because once you start explaining it, it makes some sense on the base level, so it leads to further inquiry on a lot of people's part.
I've also sort of stepped out and bought 2 pretty technical biochemical books on lectin chemistry and on these particular kinds of proteins that nab onto sugars, and it's absolutely fascinating stuff. It really helps you understand why they're just the plant lectins to the large extent are really bad news in our diet, and really are wreaking havoc with us in ways that take a long time to really show up. A lot of times, you'll have gut malfunctions, but you'll also, over the long term, end up with immune problems. It seems.
Yeah, and it's important to note. I haven't read these books yet, but that there are plant lectins in like almost every kind of plant, and only some of them are harmful.
Right.
They all behave very differently, so you shouldn't be paranoid about eating any plants. But,
no, you shouldn't. But it is really good to learn about.
And we're starting to get a lot more information about which ones to avoid, how they behave, and sort of how they're different for different people and that sort of stuff.
One way to think about these nastier lectins that we're beginning to understand which plants kind of have too many of them for us to eat adequately. 2 things. One, the traditional methods of fermenting and cooking and doing all that we thought wiped them out don't to a large extent.
They will bring a lot of them down, but some of the more problematic ones don't get.
Yeah, not enough. And the other thing is that they are the plants. If we use like herbicides and insecticides, they're the plants' insecticide, but also they're the plant's human side. It turns out. So we really want to be careful. Plants don't want anything to eat them, including us. So that's one of the things these things do is provide a defense. They do a lot of things, but that's a major one, and that's one of the reasons they bug our gut when we eat them.
Yeah, Rob Wolf talks about that in one of his chapters, and how, basically, like for a lot of seeds, they won't actually survive the trip through your immune systems. But is it seeds or nuts? I don't remember. Anyways, there are certain plants that don't want to get destroyed and don't want to be eaten, and they will defend themselves against being eaten. And there are certain plants that do want to be eaten, like a berry or something, because they want to be transferred to a new area once they travel through your body. So, anyway, before we get too far off the tracks here, we'll just cut it off and finish our breakfast here. So, thanks, guys.
All right, see you.